Hello everyone. 3 things that men do with their money. Because if you remember in my teachings last time, I said that anytime we receive money in form of salary or in form of income, we enter into an automatic financial crossroad. And the path that we choose will determine a certain destination for us, either a destination of poverty, financial crisis and financial rat race, or a destination of financial freedom, riches and wealth. Which means it is very important with the kind of the path that we choose with our finances. And the number one thing that men do, the moment they receive their salary or the moment they receive their income, they waste their money. The trademark of money wasters is they are involved in impulse buying. That is entering into things that they had not planned, either unnecessary road trips or going for holidays that they had not planned. And number 2 thing that men do with their money is that they spend money. These are people who buy liabilities instead of buying assets. They are masters in consumption and not production. And I believe, and this is where we Kenyans and Africans, we are victims. And even as Africa at large, we have become victims. Why? Because we are masters in consumption, but not masters in production. And listen, when your consumption is greater than your production, financial crisis is inevitable. I don't need to be a prophet, but anytime you find that your consumption is higher than your production, then financial crisis is inevitable. And that is why you find that Africans, we are known as third world countries. Why? Were we created as the third countries? No. We are just called third world countries because our consumption is too high compared to our production. And I challenge you today that just do self-analysis. Check from your toe to the head the shoe that you have worn, either the trouser that you have worn, the shirt that you have worn, the t-shirt that you have worn, the jacket that you have worn, or even the kind of the suit that you have worn. If everything that you have worn is as a result of somebody produced, and if there is nothing that you have produced, then we need to revisit the matter. Otherwise, you will find that you are just good in consumption, but you are bad in production. So there has to be a balance. In economics, there is what we call USP, unique selling point, or the equilibrium. There's a point that you have to meet as a consumer, and there's a point also that you have to meet as a producer. Then you strike a deal. But if at all that whatever you have, you are the only one that is consuming and there's nothing that you are producing, then your financial trajectory is moving on a wrong direction. I always say, you can be driving your car at 180 km per hour. That is at a very high speed, but in the wrong direction. I would prefer sit down, analyze yourself. You better even begin driving your car at 40 km per hour, but in the right direction. Because it doesn't matter, as long as you're in the right direction, in the fullness of time, you shall arrive to the right destination. And there's a scripture quoted by the wisest man that ever lived in the Bible, that is King Solomon in Proverbs 21 verse 20, that is in the New Living Translation. He said that wise men are known to be wealthy and have luxury. Wise men are known to be wealthy and have luxury, but poor men are spenders of everything that they get. They are spenders. Poor men are known to spend everything that they get. Now, there are 2 things that King Solomon is mentioning there. Number 1, wise men become rich and luxurious. Wise men become rich and luxurious. So, which means for you to become rich and wealthy, you don't need money. You need wisdom. And I would like to clarify something, that wisdom is the application of information intelligently. So there's an aspect of acquiring information and there's an aspect of applying the information. So wisdom is the application of information intelligently. Which means if you don't apply the information that you have acquired, then there's a very high possibility you can be an informed fool. And this one takes us back to Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7, that wisdom, he said once again, that wisdom is the principal thing. And that principle means it is the backbone as far as the pursuit of building riches, building wealth, and experiencing financial freedom is concerned. Then we cannot neglect the aspect of wisdom acquisition. Because if we neglect the aspect of wisdom acquisition, then we should forget about financial freedom, we should forget about riches, and we should forget about wealth. But if at all of us we want to, then wisdom is the backbone. Wisdom is the primary thing. Then wisdom is the key thing, the key thing, the primary thing. You remember, we have primary, we have secondary, and we have tertiary. You cannot go to secondary before going to primary. You cannot go to tertiary before going to secondary, which means the primary thing to wealth creation and creating riches, the primary thing is wisdom acquisition. And this is where all of us, we have failed as a nation of Kenya and Africa at large. That is why we have been found as third world countries. Look at it this way. How comes that the only rich people and the only financially free people and wealthy, the only rich and the only wealthy people, what they have done, they have occupied only the 20%, which means all those who are struggling financially, all those who are poor, all of them are in the category of the 80%, which means there is a problem somewhere. And you see, one of the things that makes us different, that makes the rich and the wealthy different, is their way of thinking. So if you are going to shift from 80% to occupying the 20%, the 10%, and the 5%, then there has to be an automatic mindset shift, and begin to incorporate the mind of the rich and the mind of the wealthy. The number three, as I finish, the number three thing that men do with their money is that they invest, and these are the few. And this is where you find the rich and the wealthy people. The moment they come in touch with their salary, the moment they come in touch with their money, the number one thing they think of investing and think of saving. And that is where we ought all of us to be. And I told you that you are the CEO, you are the ultimate captain of your own financial life. It's up to you to choose whichever path that you want, either the path of wasting money, the path of investing money, the path of spending money, or the path of investing money. And let me, as I clarify or I summarize, that those who waste money are known to be fools. Those who spend money are known to be average people. And those who invest their money are known to be wise people. Choose where you want to belong. It's been your friend and Kingdom Financial Coach, Nicholas Koech. See you at the top.